I'm going to be helping this med spa agency 2x by just making a few small tweaks to the landing page. So if you watch this, you're going to learn something. You're going to get more leads, you're going to be more qualified, and ultimately you'll be able to scale. Let's dive in. So biggest thing over here is we want to go look at the mobile view, because most people focus way too heavily on their actual desktop version. So I'm going to just toggle through a few of these. iPhone, Pixel. I'm personally a Pixel guy. And if you're an iPhone guy over here, well, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to say any nasty things. So this is great. We want the logo to be nice and small, and we want to call out very clearly the individual that we're going after, okay? Now, here's the thing. If you've run the ads properly, you probably don't need to call out these aesthetic clinic owners generating over 10K a month. They just wasted space, and as a result, the biggest issue that I see is that this quiz is not above the fold, right? So what you're seeing over here is that you have this arrows that are wasting space. This is probably wasting quite a bit of space. And if you were to just cut these two things out, you'd have this closer to being above the fold. And then this can probably be taken out. Simply answer a few simple questions and see if you qualify, right? It's, this can be taken out. Now, the next thing over here is we want to go really to the big offer and the big promise. Get 20 to 30 pre-qualified high-ticket bookings on your calendar every month using our revenue injector system. So since this is aesthetic clinics, I'm curious to know why we can't use the word, patients or laser hair removal bookings. Why can't we make the claim bigger even, right? Like 20 to 30 on any given day. I mean, if they're booked out, they can do 5 patients a day. I mean, this is only 5 to 6 days of work, 5 to 8 days of work. That's not very impressive, right? So what we really want to do over here is see if we can maximize this claim and just literally have a hyper-specific promise. Get 50 plus body sculpting patients in your calendar every single month using our revenue injector system. So this is where I would go more after something that stipulates that the individual that's going to come in for aesthetic treatments, they're going to be of a higher income range. So we'd want to go with something like the high income patient system, right? Or something along the lines of the high net worth patient system, right? Like that sounds more exciting, because we all know that high net worth individuals, they get freaking lip fillers and they get face injections and plastics. I mean, this isn't plastic surgery, but I mean, they probably have spent on plastic surgery, so they could easily afford something like this, right? So we want to basically make it seem like we are able to get them the higher income individuals, and our team handles everything except the treatment, of course. I think this can be taken out by just basically saying that it's booked appointments, contractually guaranteed results, 10 to 20 plus in new monthly revenue. I mean, I don't even know if this needs to necessarily be said, because you're telling them that they're going to get more patients, and making income claims is it's a little bit gray area in my opinion. I don't really like doing it. So those are some of my suggestions on the top over here. We would change this very specifically to that, booked appointments, not leads. I would add in, instead of the revenue thing, nurtured to make sure they show up to the appointment, and then I would call it an ironclad money back guarantee, or an ironclad results guarantee, right? And I would remove these arrows, I'd remove this, I'll do everything I possibly can to get this above the fold, so that we don't need to scroll down to see the next button. And then what is your role within the clinic? I'll just go owner, manager, marketing director, receptionist. And long term, we can create logic that then pushes the receptionists and people that are doing, not enough revenue. We can push them to a different booking page so it doesn't fire the lead event. Because what you got to recognize is that over time, when we're triggering this lead event over and over again with people that are doing below 10K a month or people that are receptionists, Facebook is just going to find us more receptionists working for a clinic that's broke, right? So that's a future thing. I wouldn't right now do that logic, but definitely what we can do is ask these questions. So this is a good question to ask. In fact, I would actually start with this question first, because then it's getting them bought in. Rather than making it seem like, oh, you want to know who I am, why don't you give me an opportunity to think about what I really want as an ideal outcome. So this is a bit more of an advanced concept that we can get into in future videos, but there's this idea that a quiz in itself can be a tool to qualify and to help people get closer to becoming a sale. Because when you ask them questions like, what kind of services do you really want to promote? And then you can talk about, what are your goals for your team in the future? And then you could give them options like, hey, I want to have a team of like 5 to 10 people. I want to have a team of 10 to 15 people. When you ask questions like this, even though it may not be necessary to qualify them, it's getting them to basically be a bit more invested in your company, in your process, because you're asking me about what I want. And now that I'm telling you what I want, well, now I want to know how you're going to help me get what I want, right? So this is psychology at the end of the day. Again, a bit more advanced, not necessary, because it is actually going to decrease the lead volume, but it will increase the lead quality. And right now we're dealing with lead volume, right? So really what we want to do is we want to make this a checkbox as well, because they may want multiple of the above. We don't want to just preclude them to getting other types of clients with our service either, right? So it could be a checkbox instead, so they can choose as many of those as they want. I could see this being, what service do you most want to promote? That's fair enough, because if we want them to click less, that could work. But otherwise, checkboxes. And then what is your business revenue roughly each month? This is great. Name of your med spa or clinic. All right, that's fine. Next, first name. We'll put that in. Phone number. Consent. So this one is interesting because I'm not going to submit this right now, but this looks good. The number came through. Okay, that's good. And then realistically on the next page you're probably going to see a booking page. And at that stage, it becomes, pretty simple. You know what? I'm going to go through this real quick. Okay, I filled out all my information. I'm going to hit submit. Invalid phone number. So this is a problem, right? Like, if they're having an invalid phone number, then, really at this stage, it's going to result in a lot of lost submissions. And I think this one is expecting me to put an area code in. I don't know. Yeah, this is a problem. Like this, it should not be this hard to submit this. Okay, so I think I figured this out. You got to put your country code in, and that's, most people are not going to get that. I had to put in the +1 over there. And by the way, that's not my real phone number. And then here's what I would do over here. I wouldn't have this booking in progress bar over here. Honestly, I would just do away with this. I would do away with this. Let's get working for you. Yeah, I would just reiterate the promise, because if a clinic is already doing 40, 50K, this is going to be like, this is not for me. So what I would do over here is I would just keep this really, really simple. You could have like almost there. Let's scale your clinic to 50 plus patients. Let's get you an extra 50 plus patients a month. All you got to do is book your free clinic growth strategy session. and this is great. We're only able to book 3 days out. This is great. This is a very, very important thing, okay? Very important. Only allowed to book 3 days out. If it's more than 3 days, they're not going to show up, okay? Now, here's the issue with this. There's the more stuff people have to look at, the more likely it is that they're going to not book the call or do the thing you want them to do. Like, my wife has told me so many times to send this guy a message on WhatsApp that we met driving around over here in Panama, and he sells water filters, because you know the drinking water over here in the taps, it isn't good. So we already have like a Brita, but we also want to get some filters for our home. And I swear, every time she freaking asks me to do it, I open up my phone and there's a ton of notifications. I still haven't messaged the guy. She's asked me 5 times. That's how distracted I get. And so if you are showing people over here testimonials right now, this is not the place for that. You want them to take the action. You want them to go ahead and select, put in their name. That's great. It's got the phone number. What's the name of your clinic? So it's like, why are we asking these questions again? We already have this info. What I would do is I would just make sure they put in their name, same email as previous, same phone number as previous, and then basically it's like that. It's like, dude, this stuff can be asked on the freaking demo, on the intro call. We're just placing more of a barrier over here right now. I would do away with all these questions except for name, phone number, email address. I wouldn't even ask for the freaking business name. Screw that, right? As long as they're using the same info, you'll figure it out, or you can consolidate that data later. So yeah, I guess I'll put this info in. Okay, I scheduled the call. Okay, thank you. So this formatting is okay. So this is where you put your testimonials. Okay. What's next? Your call and date time will be emailed to you. At the calendar, Google Meet, call, be ready on time. Timelessness, late arrival, 5 minute cancels call, quiet location, avoid noisy environments. I mean, this is where you got to get a video of yourself. This is where you actually got to get in front of the camera and just say, hey, this is who I am. It's Mo. So happy that you booked this call. Now there's a few small little items of homework that I'm going to make sure that you do. So write this down. First thing is that go to your email and check the calendar invite. Please accept it right now. If you can't see it, go to spam and check if it's over there. And in the worst case scenario, we've sent you an email with the Zoom link in the time. Just manually input it into your calendar. And please make sure you're there. I value your time and I expect that you value mine. My calendar is booked up and I don't want to give this spot to someone that's not going to show up or is going to be late. So please go ahead and do that. And if you need to reschedule, please reschedule, a day in advance, at least 2 hours in advance. If not, with all due respect, if you don't show up, we're not going to work together. I have a blacklist of people that have no-showed to these calls, and I'm just going to put you on there because I just don't have enough time to be talking to all these people that aren't serious about actually growing their med spa. So if that's you, you're in the right place. Go ahead and save this meeting. The second thing is that I want you to make sure that you go ahead and check out some of the testimonials that we have down below to show with you and share with you some of the transformations that other people in your shoes have already gone through. And if you have any questions, just write them down and we can go over them. My goal on this call is to make sure that I give you everything that I know about how to grow a med spa, things that I've been doing successfully, things that haven't been working. And guess what? When you get onto this call, you're going to be able to use everything that I share with you, even on your own. You don't necessarily need me. It's just going to take longer. And if you're really committed to growing faster and sooner and more efficiently, then we can talk about how I can help you. But either way, this call is going to give you a ton of value. I want you to show up. I want you to basically be a student and ask me as many questions as you possibly can. And I would love to give you everything that I know about this. I'm not going to hold anything back. I'm so excited to meet you on the call. Thank you, and I'll see you then. This is how I would do this page. So there's really a lot of suggestions that we have for the opt-in page, for the booking page, and for the thank you page. This is where we indoctrinate our prospects to wanting to show up to the call and work with us. So hope this was helpful. As usual, There is a school community. You can find the link in the comment of this video or the description. And in the classroom, we have master classes. And in the calendar section, we have a weekly call that happens at 4 p.m. Eastern with yours truly, where I'll answer any of your ads questions. You have a funnel question, you have a media buying question, you have an ad copy question, an ad creative question. I will dive into it and I'll break it down for you. Thank you so much for watching these videos. Please drop a comment if you enjoyed this. You can share a link to your funnel if you want. Let me know what you want to see in the future. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.